Hi guys, I wanted to basically run through a few things that I came across over the internet in the last few days. Now, as I said, I am on vacation from work, and this is good because I've gotten a lot of time with family, a lot of time to research different things. One thing I came upon is Bitcoin and the pumping of Bitcoin. I am just really looking at life right now, and I'm saying, you know, I've been to quite a few Christmas parties and, work with different folks, friends, and families, and all that stuff. And one of the things I notice is, after talking about family and different things, one of the key things people like to talk about is investments. And I came across a few people who were talking a lot about Bitcoin. And I like to ask them one question. Normally, when they start talking to me, I like say, "What did you buy at?" And normally they pause, and after a while, they tell me what they bought it at. Then I ask them, "How are you doing?" Because a lot of these guys bought at the height of it. A lot. I've talked to guys who have an average of over 40,000 that they bought it for. I talked to one guy who bought it at an average of $60,000, and now Bitcoin is at $16,000. How are they doing? How are they feeling? And I came across something that I wanted to share with my folks here. And one of the things I came across was the fact that you had some real professional pumpers on Twitter. And I came across one site and I was just flabbergasted at it. And there is a guy, his name is Michael Saylor. And if you look at the artwork that he has right here, guys, this guy's artwork basically is like this is homage to Bitcoin. So he runs a company called MicroStrategies. And if you look at this, this guy is and we'll go through some of it. 2.8 million followers, and he has look at this one. Bitcoin is a swarm of cyber hornets serving the goddess of wisdom, feeding the fire of truth, exponentially growing ever smarter, faster, and stronger behind the wall of encrypted energy. This was done in September 2020. Now, Bitcoin has fallen, quite a bit. And one of the things I wanted to talk about was this other item. He actually just revealed what he's holding. This is where I respect him. He holds right now 132,500 bitcoins within his company. Now, MicroStrategy is actually a traded company, and the company is actually way down. I'll share with you the companies. And guys, please don't think that I'm laughing because I'm laughing at these folks, right? It's not. If it sounds that way, please, I apologize. One thing I have seen here is that this company is down 75% for the year. The stock is down 75% for the year. And this is tremendous. Even Tesla, even some of these other stocks. No, this is one of the highest ones. I've seen Tattooed Chef. I think Tattooed Chef is the worst one I've ever seen. But this MicroStrategy is down 75%. That's tremendous. And then now, being down 75%, what is he known as? He is known as the main Bitcoin guy. He's the biggest Bitcoin bull. And he bought 132,500 Bitcoin for his company at an average price of 13,397. And as you can see, Bitcoin is down to $16,600. And we'll get a little bit more into that. So I did a little back of the envelope math. He spent $4 billion buying this 132,000 Bitcoin, and it's only worth 2.2 billion. He has lost $1.8 billion of his money. And one of the things that I am saying right now is these are the folks that are online literally creating a homage to Bitcoin every day. Like, some of the artwork is tremendous. Bitcoin is security. Look at this. I mean, this is fantastic. Bitcoin in winter. No, this is tremendous. I like this. Look at this. I mean, this artwork is tremendous. I am, even as Santa Claus, riding a Bitcoin. Oh, let's look at this gift. This should be good. What's the gift doing? Oh, the gift doesn't do anything. Oh, probably it's just a moving thing. But what's important is this is a homage to Bitcoin. But what I like about this guy is, and I really respect it, that he has declared, I have lost basically $1.8 billion on my Bitcoin investment. And I don't even call it Bitcoin investment. I just call it an asset. And one of the things I wanted to look at was basically, how are these guys doing? Like how are these all these big, like, you talk to them and they'll tell you, you need to be invested in Bitcoin and Bitcoin is the greatest thing. How are they actually doing? How are they actually coping? Because a lot of them are down tremendous. Like, these guys are not down just a little bit of money. A lot of these guys are down pretty big. And if they were honest with you, they would tell you, you know, they are now, a lot of them, down 60%, and they don't even know what to do with themselves. So let's look at this, because it's all there. All this stuff is there for us to see. Bitcoin folks, they're down 64% if they bought at the start of the year. People who bought Ethereum, 67%. There's something called ADA, 81%. Something called, I think this is probably Solano, 94%. Like 94%. And these guys are still pumping this asset, and I loosely call it asset, to other folks, because somehow they believe that it will rise. And one of the things why I wanted to also chat about one of the issues with Bitcoin is this. I always say this when anyone tells me I should invest in anything, is, what's the fair value of it? Like, what's the fair value of Bitcoin? And that's something no one has ever been able to explain to me. I've tried to ask several different people, even the biggest bull, they can't explain to me what's the fair value of Bitcoin. So anytime I come across it, I get stumped there. Because one of the things is, if you buy a stock of a company, the company, has assets, it has an ongoing business, and later on, potentially, you could get dividends from that company. So you can value that company. Bitcoin is like, I can't understand it properly. And the main thing I understand, that there's a maximum of 21 million Bitcoin that can be out there. But the fact of the matter is, I cannot ascertain what the fair value of Bitcoin is. The next thing is, what causes it to rise or fall? And that's the important part. And that's why there's so many people pumping Bitcoin, because they need new buyers. Because this asset needs new buyers for the price to rise. And if there are no new buyers, what happens is the sellers get out there and it crashes. So that's why there's so much pumping going on with Bitcoin. And then the next thing that all these folks who are telling people, that it's better, something better is going to happen, is, what will be that catalyst for increase? Like, we know the catalyst that caused Bitcoin to rise. I mean, I'm here in Canada, everyone got cash if they were out of work. And what happened was, a lot of people just pumped cash into different assets, and it inflated the imputed value of all these assets. So all this cash went into these assets, and yes, people made increase in value, and those who sold out, they made money. But those who are trapped in the ship right now, it doesn't look good. And so one of the things I wanted to just do with this stream is, and I'm not an investment advisor or anything like that. I'm just a regular guy who, looks at all of this stuff. So don't take this for investment advice. And I don't think Bitcoin is an investment. If it was an investment, I think it would be much more regulated. And I don't think you'd have many people who could come online and pump Bitcoin the way they do it. But one thing I know is that I work hard for my money, and I want to make sure that whatever I invest in, I understand it. I go to an advisor, and they give me the advice that I need to do this. So I just wanted to cover this, because I am coming across this, and it's just I can't understand, what is this obsession with this asset? And that part I need to understand a little bit more. Why would someone create all of these special items surrounding Bitcoin? It seems almost like a religion, guys. It seems like Bitcoin has become a religion. But why it's not so much a religion to me is, the people who are doing all of these artifacts are down $1.8 billion today. $1.8 billion today. And when you look at this guy bought the biggest Bitcoin bull, Michael Saylor, his company, bought all these Bitcoin for $4 billion, and all it is worth now is 2.2 billion. So what is his real motivation? And this is the problem that I have, is that look how many people come by this, because there are 2.8 million followers here. 2.8 million. 2.8 million followers who will come by here and see this advertisement, and they come across here and they come across all this fantastic thing that Bitcoin is security, Bitcoin is winter, and all of this stuff. And my concern always is, if Bitcoin was something that was regulated, I don't think anyone could do this. But you know what, guys? I just wanted to share my experience with you because, as I say, I'm on vacation, enjoying myself. And one of the things I also wanted to do was just cover a few items that I came across of interest. Because, of course, guys, listen, as I said, I'm not an investment advisor, but my main thing is to share information. We're a community. And guys, if you disagree with me in the comment section, I don't mind that. If you want to jump on the live stream and discuss this with me, I have no issue with that. Because one of the things that I believe is that I don't know everything. And what is most important to me is have that free-flowing conversation. Because within that free-flowing conversation, I learn. And I learn a lot from other people. But one thing I wanted to make sure is what I found, and probably it's nothing that everyone knows already. One thing I found was a lot of these Bitcoin bulls are underwater, and underwater, seriously, some of them 60-70%. And they're out there telling people to take their hard-earned money and put into this asset. I'm not comfortable with that. Anyhow, guys, as I said, I'm not an investment advisor. I'm just giving you my opinion for entertainment purposes. Thanks, guys.